this goes. Play with the angle a little bit. Hello, Mirage. Mirage. It's Mirage with a J. Not Mirage, M-I-R-A-G-E. Wonder if it's pronounced the same. I assume it is. A mirage, meaning something you're imagining. Like if you're walking through the desert, seeing a pond or palm trees or a water source. That's what a mirage is. Hello, David Coward. Hello, Bally. Hello, Iron Bike. Okay, go lay down, Holly. Go lay down. I don't feel like doing this whole live show with you. I've got Holly feeling a little frisky. Hello, Greg. Hello, Gary. For those that don't know, my dog Holly likes to join me. She's my English Springer Spaniel. It's a beautiful girl. She's 5.5. She loves her dad very much. But sometimes, and I wanted to talk about this with you a little bit later today, or not later today, a little bit this morning, about some of my struggles. I was thinking of a new struggle I had with my content creation, but it's kind of connected to what I'm dealing with here. And I don't know, dealing with life and dealing with a lot of people pulling at you in different directions and wanting things from you. And you only have so much to give, or so much energy, or so much enthusiasm, or so much time in your day to spend satisfying all those wants. And it can be hard, and I'll get to that in a minute. So good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is, I think it's Wednesday morning. It is 6:20 a.m. I'm sitting in a different spot. The lighting's a little weird. Not sure if it's good or bad, or who cares. There's always tomorrow. If I go back and don't like the lighting today, I'll do it in a different spot tomorrow, or dim the lights or change the lights or what have you, just a little bit. All right, well, thank you, RJ, for the feedback. RJ's always good with the immediate feedback. Sometimes it hurts. Sometimes I'll ask him something and he goes, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. My dad was always big on a out of 10 basis, and it didn't matter whether you went to the finest restaurant in the world or ate the best food or had the finest wine, or he was really frugal with his ranking, and he, no matter what, say, I'll give it about a 7.2 out of 10. But Dad, this is the best restaurant in the world. This is the best pizza we've ever had. This is the greatest roller coaster we've been on. You're right. I'll give it a 7.4 out of 10. It's my dad for you. I think it's part of the reason who I am. My dad was never one that was effusive with compliments or I love yous or even that much encouragement, to be honest with you. He kind of looked through, I think he was raised in Middle Illinois on a farm, and probably had a kind of toughish upbringing, and probably didn't get a ton of, he probably got a lot of tough love from his parents. And I guess you do what you know until you break the cycle. And for some reason, because I was half my mom, I'm breaking the cycle, at least with me, and I'm encouraging and effusive with love and whatever, openly emotional. So I'm going to drink a little water. But anyway, this is a show I've been doing for about 5 years now. And it's a show that means a lot to me, and I think I'd feel an empty hole in my day without doing it. Patty just said she was in her 40s before her dad said she loves you. And that's just so weird, Patty. And I'm different, but times were different. But I see my little kids. I have 4 kids. I have a 18-year-old. I have a 17-year-old, a 14-year-old, and a couple little babies. And anytime I see them, I hug them and say how proud I am of them, or how much I love them, or this or that. And times were different. And I bet, Patty, you and I aren't rare in that way. because our kids grew up, or my parents grew up in, my dad was born in 1940 and his dad was born in 1911. And those were certainly different times. But anyway, I want to get to a couple topics, and I don't know how much I have for you today. I'm getting a little later start to my morning coffee with you, but I want to thank you all so much for joining. And again, I got a few things I'd like to talk about before I get to that. And before my coffee gets too cold, I want to get to what this show's really about. It's because it's not just about me talking. It is also a show, for those that have been watching a while, it's also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I got a nice hot cup of coffee, and I'm so excited to take my first sip at this late hour for me of the last few days. My hope is that wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I'm doing my intro. People are asking me, what's the coffee? What brand of coffee? I'm sorry, I'm saying people. RJ and Josh are asking these questions, and I appreciate the questions. Thank you for the questions. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but you guys know I have my introduction that I need to do, or I wouldn't even know. I'd spill a coffee in my mouth if I didn't do my introduction. Just so. So I am excited to have my first sip of coffee, and my hope is that wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. Second day in a row. I went right back to it without even any introduction to the coffee, but I'll give it to you now. It's the Starbucks Cinnamon Dolce. All right, RJ, if you need one more sip, I'm going to give it one more sip. The Starbucks Cinnamon Dolce, which again I discovered last year. And soon after I discovered it, I took a job. I want to slide my chair forward, but Holly's got her butt kind of wedged between the chair legs. I know she got up. I don't know if that's more comfortable or less comfortable. Lay back down, Holly. You go back to sleep. I don't want to pet you all through my show. Come on, lay down. I'm just going to show you the pressure I'm under. The pressure I'm under. It's constant. And that leads me into the subject I wanted to start with. Well, first of all, this is a Cinnamon Dolce coffee by Starbucks. It's a coffee I learned about a little over a year ago, and I was drinking every day. Ironically, I started working at a local super Target shortly thereafter, and I worked in the cereal aisle, stocking cereal and stocking Pop-Tarts and stocking marshmallows and stocking various things. And next to that aisle was the coffee aisle. And I sold a lot of the Cinnamon Dolce coffee because I would sing its praises any chance I got, any chance anyone walked by and grabbed a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch or Cinnamon Life. I'd tell them, hey, are you a coffee drinker? If you like cinnamon, you're really going to like this Cinnamon Dolce. It's in the aisle next over. Let me show it to you. I wasn't the fastest stock shelver. I was not the fastest stock shelver, but I was really good at selling the cinnamon flavored products, apparently. So let's have a little more coffee. I wanted to talk to you because I was mentioning about Holly and about content creation. And last night, the thought I had as I was going to bed and saying, I think it's easy to be impatient in this world. And even though you see growth and it's slow and steady, and I preach the value of slow and steady, sometimes you go, hey, I can't work any harder. For instance, at this moment, you could think about like working out. I can't work out any harder, but I'm not getting big biceps or, I've been trying really hard to lose weight, but I've only lost a pound in 2 months or whatever the story may be. The same is my feeling right now for content creation. I've been at it a long time. I've been doing it in one form or the other for about 5 years, but I've been purposeful about it for about 2 years. I mean, pretty hardcore. And I've been working really hard, and my audience is growing really nicely. But I don't think I could put much more effort into it than I do. I go live most days. I spend several hours every day editing and reposting and repurposing uh, the videos I do. And I'd like more stuff in my life than, well, first of all, I've got bills to pay, as most people do, and I have dreams I want to live. And again, it's not even about the money. It's not even about the money for me. I probably do this to a phone that was turned off just because it feels good for me, and I think there are people out there that value or need or want or hear what I'm saying from time to time, and that feels good. So it's not about the money, but there are bills to be paid, and there are dreams I have, and goals I have, and things I'd like to do and accomplish outside of building an audience. And last night, as I was going to bed, I texted a buddy and said, "Hey, I'm working really hard at this. I'm can't work much harder, and I'm kind of exhausted every night, and feel kind of spent, and would like." I don't know, maybe dream for other things from time to time. And it's okay to dream for other things. And I almost think I need to take a job just to occupy my mind with other things and let this grow slow and steady as it's going to, or grow at whatever pace it's going to. Just something to take my focus off content creation. Yeah, I spend a lot of time loving on my babies and what have you. But more of the business side of me and the career goal oriented side of me needs that fed. And just watching my Instagram followers go from 14,000 to 15,000 a day isn't going to be as fulfilling as you might imagine it would be. So when Josh asked, do I miss working at Target? Not at Target per se, but I miss filling the time with a purposeful activity that is, for most of us, a job that we go to every day. And and as entry level as Target was, I went to the warehouse in the back, grabbed several huge boxes, dragged them out to the aisle, cut them open, put cereal in where they were supposed to go, and then took it into a different storage area and stocked it there. It was almost like working on a puzzle for 8, 9 hours a day. And it was kind of an opportunity for me to shut off my brain and do work, classic work, if you will. And yeah, and it almost felt good. And again, you guys I know I talk about it a lot, doing a job search, because I do think, money aside, I think having something to occupy myself besides content creation and loving on my kids and cheering for Illinois basketball on Thursday night, I could use a little more to keep me, I don't know, occupied or busy or experiencing new things and meeting new people and what have you. And that was a thought I had as I went to bed. And, honestly, I say slow and steady wins the race. It does. I'm meeting with people, and I'll get a job, and it might take a few weeks, and it might keep me occupied. But to me, every minute is a crisis. And every moment I have to have my everything figured out. And, in life, you don't have everything figured out every moment as much as we would like to. Joe Larson said he took Illinois pretty far. He had a weird feeling. RJ's going to be at Crosstown. They've got great wings at Crosstown. I like it. I don't drink beer anymore, most of you know. I don't drink beer anymore, most of you know. But Crosstown, I believe, sells beers in like 32-ounce mugs. I don't know, maybe 20-ounce mugs. I like big and muggy glass mug. Pleased me. Am I excited about the Clips? No. It'll probably be cloudy on April 8th. RJ says Crosstown has Busch non-alcoholic on tap. I could drink there. There's going to be 75,000 just in your town. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to keep talking because I had another thought this morning. Another challenge I'm facing, and it's weird because I was not going to go live because I was going to just hold it in and go, what am I going to do? And I'm going to be frustrated. And then as I was taking Holly out to go, hello, Ryan, thank you for joining me. See, RJ, have you never experienced a total eclipse before? RJ's talking about an eclipse that's coming April 8th. And he said if cloudy, will still be complete darkness. That's not true, RJ. It doesn't go completely dark in an eclipse. It becomes a weird color. Becomes a weird color. But anyway, maybe a total, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. We will see. I don't want to disappoint RJ, and I could be wrong. RJ's an engineer. I'm but a lowly content creator. And RJ said that it's going to be totally dark on April 8th when we have an eclipse here. And I'm not sure if that's true. As a matter of fact, I don't think so. But we will see. Yeah, we will see. But anyway, where was I? Oh, I woke up this morning. And again, this is something I got to figure out. As my page grows, and what's so fun about this is I get to talk about anything I want, and I don't have to stick to sobriety or mental health today. And I get to talk about whatever I want. And whatever I want this morning is some of the challenges I'm experiencing as a content creator. And I'm getting so many messages. I had a woman reach out, and I don't think she was faking, and she was talking about being depressed and how she's crying last night and how she's, her parents are fighting and this and that. I have a big heart, and my heart breaks for people that are struggling, but I don't have enough room in my life to handle every human being's issues that reaches out to me, and I'm not sure what I should do. And just this morning, and it's not only about mental health, or depression, it's also about work. I posted a video talking about me being a stockbroker and how I made $169,000 33 years ago when I was 24 or whatever. And, I kind of intended it to be a cautionary tale, but there's a lot of people out there licking their mouth going, wow, if he could make 170,000 30 years ago, I could make $500,000 in this job. How do you do it? And I got so many people reaching out going, hey, how do I get into Wall Street? I live in California. And or so many people asking about it. And I just don't have the time or the capacity to individually handle. And I'm not saying I could ignore them if they were just contents, because, it's getting hundreds of thousands of views and thousands of comments. And I'm getting hundreds of messages. And I want to be polite. I want to be kind. I want to address everybody that reaches out to me, because I so appreciate people reaching out. But I don't have the capacity. I've had hundreds of people ask me, what did you do to make that money? And if you watch my videos, you know what I did. But people get excited. They get hungry for money. And they reach out, hey, what'd you do? Oh, I was a stockbroker. Oh, really? How'd that go? And I just can't have an individual conversation as my audience grows with everybody that wants to have an individual conversation. And I feel guilty about that, and I worry about them, and I want to answer their questions, and I want to be the best version of me that I can. But the best version of me can't be wiped out every day. I want to be the guy that goes to the grocery store, sees a vet, shakes his hand, and jokes with the cashier, and holds the door open for people coming and going. But if I'm so spent just from my content creation, social media, virtual life, I can't be the best version of me to myself or my family or my neighbors or my friends or what have you. And that kind of worries on me. And again, I feel bad. Nan said you have to ignore them, and I think that's probably true. But I had like 5 messages asking about my career choices when I was young this morning. And I hate to ignore them because I like viewership and I want to help them. But again, it was a cautionary tale. I wouldn't recommend anyone do what I did. At least I wouldn't do it again, But so I don't know exactly how to handle it. So I mean, this is probably like, I don't know, some movie star complaining that somebody wants to take their picture, but at a much lower scale. But it happens, and you don't know what to do. And Robert De Niro sometimes probably just wants to go out to dinner and have a steak with his family and enjoy it. Uh, yeah. So I feel for them. Yeah. Any big spring break trips in the 90s? RJ likes spring break trips. Yeah, no, I don't know in the 90s. I don't know in the 90s. I was going to spring break in the 80s. I'm older than you think, RJ. I was in college from 86 to 90. I went to, I did the usual. I went to Marco Island, Florida, 4 years in a row with a buddy. His parents would rent a house there every year, and had a great time going there. I've done a ton of golf trips in my life during spring break. I've been to South Padre Island, but it was on a golf trip, but it was during spring break, and we went there to experience it. Uh, There's a lot of money to be made on Wall Street for a young kid, or is it not the same? Like the real SGF asked, is there a lot of money to be made on Wall Street for a young kid, or is it not the same? Honestly, I don't know. I wasn't even on Wall Street. I was on LaSalle Street, which is the Wall Street of Chicago. Uh, I would say it's not the same. I would guess it's not the same, but I did this business 25 years ago, and I left it because I didn't want to do it anymore. I still watch CNBC from time to time. I still keep an eye on the markets, and I probably always will because that's an interesting pastime. I like business. I like finance. I like seeing money go up and down for whatever reason. But I bet it's far from the same. When I started doing what I did, there was no do not call list. Sexual harassment really wasn't a thing. You could really do almost anything you want and say anything you want to people over the phone. It was a far less sensitive world than it is today, and just would not exist. I mean, there might be a boiler room out there somewhere that I'm not aware of. But if they are, they're operating. I don't know. I don't know. I'm driving my kids down to Tampa, Florida on Saturday, 12 to 13-hour drive. Well, Ryan, have a wonderful drive. Tampa is a place I've been. It's a real pretty town right next to Clearwater. White sands and a beautiful, beautiful place. Not as crazy of a scene as far as spring breakers go. Or at least I don't know, but that's my memory. And but a real beautiful place I've been to a couple times. My kids are doing great, Nan. My two older ones are went to college first. Went to Colorado for a college visit for my oldest, who's going to be who's a senior in high school now, and who's making decisions about college choices. And she wanted to see, I think, Colorado State, so she drove out there and checked it out. And I think they had a nice trip. My two little babies are doing awesome. They're beautiful, and I get to spend the day with them. RJ asked, do I like Arizona? I think they have the best golf courses. I don't, RJ. It's neat to mix it up. Holly's crying at the door, so I'm going to probably wrap this up pretty soon because she's had a little tummy issue. She woke me up a couple times during the night, and I had to take her out. And I know how unpleasant it is to have a tummy issue when you gotta go. Yeah, so I don't want to get distracted and talk golf courses. And I hate to rush you off because I so appreciate you guys hopping on with me every day or when you do, or watching my videos or liking my stuff. But I appreciate you guys listening to me talk today, and appreciate you sharing a little bit of your morning with me. And yeah, hold on one more sip. I just appreciate you, and I think it's good to appreciate others and appreciate life and appreciate the bananas that my phone is leaning against and appreciate the cup of water and I don't know, be appreciative and live in gratitude and Yeah. So anyway, it's Wednesday morning. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much, Julie Flanagan, and you know I appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you, Nan. I hope you had a great night's sleep. I hope your week is going well. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you are loving yourself. I hope you are forgiving yourself. RJ, thank you for those roses. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye bye.